All right. Welcome back to Unboxing Haven, everyone. Today we're going to compare two Apple products, the Apple iPad Pro, which is 12.9 inches, and the Apple iPad Air 4, which is 10.9 inches. They both are 2020 models. The iPad Pro was released in March of 2020, and iPad Air 4 was released in September of 2020. Both are fourth generations. We will see how these two Apple products are different from one another and compare them and see which one is better value. Let's get into it. Both of the iPads are space gray and have aluminum backs. And the frame is also aluminum, and they both have rounded corners. At the bottom of the iPads, we have smart connectors to connect the Magic keyboards and the third-party keyboards. The iPad Pro have 5 studio quality microphones, and the iPad Air 4 has only 2 microphones. They both come with the standard USB-C charging ports. The iPad Pro has a smaller power button, which is not a fingerprint reader, and the Apple iPad Air has a larger button which has a fingerprint reader and is very easy to register, and you can register up to multiple fingers fast and accurate. Let's turn both of the devices on and see if which one of them will load up first. Looks like the iPad Air was turned on first, but the iPad Air is only milliseconds late, so no worries. The iPad Air 4 has screen resolution of 2360 by 1640 and 264 ppi, and the Pro has 2048 by 2732 and 265 ppi. Both have Liquid Retina display and True Tone technology. iPad Pro has 120 Hz, and the iPad Air does not support that. Okay, so both of the cameras are 12 megapixels, f1.8 rear cameras, and they both are additional 10. The iPad Pro has additional camera which is wide, ultra wide, 10 megapixel. Then the iPad Pro has the LiDAR scanner, which means light detection and ranging. So you can see the top right hand side, the video, it shows you what it's supposed to do or what it does. So it is really advanced technology. All right, let's test the camera on this one. So basically the camera I tested on a small fake plant. It was pretty good. The iPad Air had a little bit of grain in it when you do too much zoom in. As you can see right here, there's a small grain, but it's noticeable when you do that much of a zoom. But the quality is there. But the iPad Pro has better quality than the iPad Air. Here we're gonna see in a moment. Both of the iPads have front cameras 7 megapixels, f1.8, but the Pro has additional 10 megapixel ultra wide camera, f2.4, which the iPad Air does not have. Both of these front cameras are 7 megapixels. Okay, so this is the iPad Pro, and you can see there's only a little bit of grain in it, but it's not too much but the zoom in is really good. You can take really good pictures with it. All right, now let's see the smoothness of the screen. This was shot in 120 frames per second, and you can only see minor differences. If the text is readable to you on iPad Pro, because it has 120 Hz, the screen is 120 Hz, and the iPad Air does not support 120 Hz. True motion. They both have true motion technology, but 120 Hz is only on iPad Pro. So you can see this was shot, and when we zoom in, I don't see that big of a difference, but the text is readable on both of them but you cannot see any difference with the naked eye. Both iPads compatible with Apple Pencil Generation 2, and let's see how responsive is on both iPads in Procreate app in slow motion. So far on iPad Air, it's delayed by a fraction, still is very responsive. I don't see any major differences, but the iPad Pro has much smooth as the Apple Pencil slides smoothly and the motion and the sensitivity of the pencil is on spot. These differences is only at slow motion on 120 Hz. But you cannot really see the difference or tell the difference to the naked eye when you're making art. I mean, when you're making art, you're just slow anyway. Now let's see how these two iPads do on a Geekbench mark test with the Geekbench 5 app. All right, so the iPad Air has A14 Bionic chip, Neural Engine Hexa-Core 3.0. So basically, the iPad Air finished first. Test because it has a 3.0 core clock speed, and iPad Air finished 10 seconds later. So results are that the iPad Pro single core has score of 1127 and multi-core score has 4713, and the iPad Air has a single core score of 1588 and multi-core score of 4275. You also can check and compare other Apple iPads Air Pro results with the previous generations. I also ran the Wi-Fi test for both iPads, and the iPad Pro was a bit faster than iPad Air, but both support Wi-Fi 6. Both the download and upload speeds was a little bit of different. Okay, so the next test is gonna be on the 3D Mark app for both the iPads and run a wildlife test. This is what we got. The iPad Pro finished, and not too far, the iPad Air 4 was only a couple of seconds apart. Okay, so basically, we will see the score right here. The iPad Pro scored about 13,346 at 79 frames per second, and iPad Air 4 scored at 8938 at 53 frames per second. So the 8-core GPU does work on the iPad Pro. Next, I ran a test on Antutu. I think that's what you call it. So it scored about 724,028. And the Pro and the iPad Air was 670360. Looks like the iPad took this round too. Okay, another round for gaming. Let's start up Mario and compare sounds and gaming experience and color. Okay, so far after playing the iPad Pro, it seems like the iPad Pro is much bassier. It has bass to it because all of the 4 speakers are working together. Okay, let me pause that. Oops, nope. Okay, you can't pause it in animation. Pause. Okay, now let's test the iPad Air. All right, so iPad Air seems like it's less bassier. It's like more it's like more of a hollow voice, like it's hollow. So basically that is because of the speakers. Maybe it has 2 set of speakers because Apple doesn't tell you how many speakers it has, but so far that's what it is. Now color wise, I like the color of iPad Pro better than the iPad Air. iPad Air seems like it's more on the high contrast side, where
eating $100,000 golden ice cream.
I'm blown away. This is so good.
$5,000 mac and cheese.
This mac and cheese is magnificent.
$30,000 banana foster.
Oh, that's incredible.
And so much, starting off with $100 ice cream and working our way up. This is $100 ice cream. It's really good. We're starting off with $100 ice cream and working our way up.
This is $100 ice cream. It's really good. This cheese is $500. That's pretty good. Oh gosh, I'm excited. Oh my god. This cheese is $500. That's pretty good. Oh gosh, I'm excited. Oh my god, this is really good. Alright, we're going to the next one. This is $1,000 chocolate. As you can see, there are golden flakes on it. Oh my god. Oh wow. That's amazing. When you eat stuff like this.
So after many tests, then I think the better value would be iPad Pro. Yes, you're paying more, but as those things add on, like you're adding a keyboard, Magic Keyboard, or third-party keyboards, you will get more pricier. But if you're an artist and you play games and you love working on like stuff like video editing and stuff, I think the iPad Pro replaces the MacBook 16-inch, pretty much even 13-inch, because it does what the Apple laptops do. So if you like this video, please leave a like, and thank you for visiting, and stay safe out there. I'll catch you guys later.